I know we've had our ups and downs with this horse over the last few weeks, but it is improving. If you notice, as it cantered down those 2 poles then and popped over the vertical, that was lovely and controlled, and as you canter around the cone, you're in full control. So if you can do the control and the positioning at this speed, all we now need to do is take the speed a little bit quicker, and you must try and keep the same control and the same outline and the same balance. As you go down these 3 fences we just jumped again, the control was very good and the shape was very good. So what we're looking for to do now is to take all these elements around a course of fences. Going back to Rectory Farm, you would jump a few well and then you would jump a few not so well. Most of the time the mistakes come from where he gets strong in the bridle, pulls his head down, and you get pulled out of the saddle. But from the floor you can see that it's happening on landing, but it takes you 3 or 4 strikes to feel this, and then before you know it the corner's there and you're going around the corner too quick. Over the last 2 or 3 training sessions when I've seen this horse has improved no end. You can see he struggles with his canter, because if you watch him canter over these poles, when he gets to the vertical, he's very close to the little vertical. When you're linking fences together, you end up being a little bit further back, which is where he prefers to take off from. i.e. example for that is when you've just jumped the spread and the upright. If you notice, he had the wavy plank down. The reason why he had the wavy plank down was because he was half a yard too close, and the horse can't move his front end in time to do that. Going back to the pole exercise, if you watch him as he canters over the poles, his canter stride gets longer, and that's where he gets close to the vertical. So in your work and when you're going around a course of fences, you're looking to keep the canter as slow and as collected together, but also as soft as you possibly can, because the more times you touch his mouth, the higher his head comes. So you're looking to have a balanced canter, but you're lowering the head from the wither, so then he can use his shoulder. If his head's in the sky, he clearly can't use his shoulder because his head's in the sky, which won't allow him to use his shoulder. So what we need to do now is try and keep the same rhythm in the canter, but get the head lower, and then you're half a yard further back when you jump the course of fences. What I would say about this horse is back on track. It's going well in its flat work and its jump is pretty good. A little bit inconsistent now and again, but the fences come when it goes numb to the leg and you let the canter get very sprawled in its body. What I mean by sprawled in its body, what we're looking for is this horse to approach the fence with a nice bascule shape through its head and neck, that the horse doesn't just flop like it did at the planks just then. If you go back to looking at those planks, what the horse did there, it was on the forehand round the corner, and when you asked for the takeoff stride, it jumped at the fence instead of coming back onto its hocks and jumping around the fence. So you as a rider need to get the horse up and under itself, so in a good outline that the horse is sitting on its hocks, and then you can press with your leg, and as you press with your leg, it's almost like a basketball effect. It's got power and height, not that when you press with your leg it runs through the bridle and jumps at the fence. This is where the problem comes when you have fences down. It's always the same thing that has the fences down, so it's the main problem that needs to be addressed. So going back to it, round a course of fences, you're looking to get the horse engaged on its hocks, like there when you've had that fence down. The reason why you've had that fence down is it must sit on its hocks and jump over the fence, so it goes around the pole, not that it jumps off like an aeroplane.